Well, why am I not surprised? Another day, another bullshit move by Game Freak for Pokemon. As Sword and Shield are less than a month away, I'm looking forward to boycotting the games. No national decks, not playing, and that goes for any other future games. And that's not changing. But of course, we got another stupid reason for what they're doing into the game. For all of you that play this series, or don't maybe, there is an item called the EXP Share. It's been around for the entire series of Pokemon, although in Gen 1 it was called EXP All. What it used to do from Gen 2 to 5, because the original purpose was more aligned with what it is now, but Gen 2 and 5, it's an item you would give your Pokemon to hold, and they would get some EXP from the battle, even if they didn't battle themselves. But in Gen 1, and then of course from Gen 6 and 7 onwards, it was an item that you would hold that would give every Pokemon on your team EXP. And of course it's gotten better, more refined and better from when it was first done Gen 1 and all. But unfortunately, just as I feared, because they did on LGPE, they are no longer not only not making it an item anymore, they are making it mandatory. Mandatory to use, I mean to say. So, previously in the games, if you didn't want to use it, you could fucking turn it off. Which is what I and many others did. I would only use it for training, but after that, during actual playing, I turn it off. But no. They're making it mandatory. And forcing us to use it even when we don't want to. And the amount of excuses I've seen for this is absolutely astonishing. But I'm not surprised. The defenders of these games are so desperate. Just like the furry retard. But before I get into that, fuck you, Game Freak, for doing this. And I actually read an article on Polygon or somewhere that interviewed Masuda and Amori. And apparently in the interview, they basically said, we think the players can decide for themselves how they want to make the games difficult for them. Are you too fucking stupid or something? You literally took out a feature that would make it more difficult for us and force it upon us, which would make the game more easier. If I and many other players don't want to have the EXP share on during the game, we should have the option to turn it off. Like, how we always used to do. Because, player choice. As you said, we think the players could make the game more difficult for them to enjoy with, or whatever you said. You're literally taking that option away, you fucking lying idiots. So fuck no. We should have the option to turn it off like we used to. If any of you else want to have it on all the time, more power to you. But for me and others, no. We want it off when we're playing the game, and we should have the fucking option to have it off. And that makes the games even more easier than they already are, since how we always have what happens when you have the EXP share on, you're going to have your team over-leveled all the damn time, and that's why I always have it off. Plus, I prefer my teams getting EXP from actually battling. But the amount of excuses and deflections I've seen, especially on the great channel Distant Kingdom, oh god, people have lied and lied and lied about him over and over and over again. And when he criticized this, these people interpreted as him not wanting the EXP share at all and trying to do the reverse of what Nintendo's doing and forcing other players to never use the EXP share. No, you fucking idiots. He didn't say that, you lying morons. What he's saying is if you want to do it, that's fine. But others like me, who don't want to use the EXP share all the damn time, we should have the option to turn it off. That's simple. That's easy to understand. But when you're a dishonest hack that will defend Shield and Sword no matter what, you gotta lie. But I'm not surprised as people defend this game, that's all they have. They have nothing but lies and smears. And the amount of excuses. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Some of the excuses I've heard. First off, I hate grind and I don't want to do it. Well, first off, in Pokemon and other RPGs, you gotta grind no matter what. That's part of the game. There's nothing you can do to get away from it. So you're grinding no matter what, pretty much. Even with the EXP share on, you're still grinding. Especially if you caught a new member for your team that's massively far behind, you still gotta grind to level it up and all. So that argument is not valid. But if it was valid, guess what? More power to you. You can keep the EXP share on all the time, and you can have your over-level teams. But for me and others, we should have the option to turn it off and play the game how we want to play it. Is that really too hard to understand? And then this other excuse, oh, just put your Pokemon in the PC. You don't have to worry about it. Do you have any fucking idea how stupid and tedious that is compared to just simply, just having an option to turning it off? It's more convenient to have that option. Why the fuck should I have to go all the way back to a center, put my Pokemon in the PC when I could just go in my bag, hit the button, turn it off? It's just more simple. I shouldn't have to do that when all the other games beforehand, we had the option to turn it off. And then, oh, every other RPG does this, so why is it a problem now in Pokemon? Well, for one, Pokemon has never done this before, so that's one thing. Changing something that's been part of the game for its entire 23 years? That's one thing. Two, not every single RPG is the same, just like every other game in genre. Not every game is the fucking same. Pokemon has always done its own different thing, and if they want to change it like this, they should have the option like they did back in Gen 6 and 7, and honestly, all the other previous generations too. If we don't want to do this, we could simply, just go into the settings, or items, or whatever, and just turn off the EXP share. That's it. So if you want to train your entire team up with the EXP share all the time, good. More power to you. You can do what you want. But me, I don't want to have it on all the time. I want to be able to turn it off. That's not too much to ask and expect. And then another excuse I've heard was, oh, it will make the game more balanced and fix the broken EXP share from Gen 6 and 7. I'm not kidding when someone said this on Twitter, I literally almost died laughing. First off, we don't know how balanced Shield and Sword is after all. We haven't fucking played it yet, so we don't fucking know yet. But going off experience from Gen 6 and 7, the reason why it was broken, even though I personally haven't experienced it because I turned it off, is because the EXP share would make your team incredibly over level because you gained EXP all the damn time. So in reality, when it came to Gen 6 and 7, this person and others are actually making my point for me, where if you just simply turned it off or had the option to turn it off, the problem would be fixed since you wouldn't be over leveled anymore. I find it funny how these people always make arguments for me. It's incredible how they do it every single time. And then, of course, I've heard the good old, oh, you're just a whiner and a hater, and you are a bad, evil BB&D'er. Ugh. So you're saying wanting more player choices is being a whiny crybaby? Especially when all the previous games in this series had it before? Yeah, no. And, of course, you all lie and strawman, so I'm going to say it right here, right now. I'm not saying that they can't have EXP share. And I'm not saying that if the other players who do want all the time should be forced to have it off. I'm not saying whatsoever. If you want to use it all the damn time, more power to you. You do what you want. But me and others, we don't want it on all the time. We should have the option to turn it off as we used to, and that will make the game more enjoyable for us, like me. I only use the EXP share for grinding. After that, I turn it off when I play the main game. What's wrong with letting us have the option to turn it off if we want to make the game more enjoyable for us? How is that such a wrong thing to want more player choices? How does that make us a crybaby and a hater for wanting more player choices? It doesn't. It's called criticism, and it's fair, and you know that. That's why you're smearing and lying about us at all costs like you do to Distant Kingdom. So, fuck you guys, And fuck Game Freak for making the EXP Share mandatory. It should be an option to turn off. That's not debatable, and that's reasonable. And also, fuck these games. No national decks, no playing ever. Hashtag BBND.